How's it going, everyone? Welcome to CPSB-TV Sports. I'm Mason DePriest alongside Cameron Laughlin. It's the month of December, Cameron. Christmas is right around the corner, and we have a great show for everyone today.
Absolutely.
We're going to go over the Sulphur Boys basketball team and how they've been doing so far this year. The college football playoff is right around the corner. We're going to preview the first round. And then Juan Soto, he signs the largest deal in MLB history. We're going to go over all of that for you guys today, so stay tuned for today's show.
So the Sulphur Boys basketball team starts the year off extremely hot, right?
Yep.
They're 8-1. They're on a 6-game win streak right now. Their only loss was to Lacassine by a point.
By 1 point. And Ian Malone didn't really play that game, which Ian Malone has proven to be the Tour's best player this season. Averaging just under 20 points. He's averaging 17.5 points a game. They're currently ranked 10th in the state in non-select Division I by Go Preps. You know, they went out of state this past weekend and played against Laurel High School, a team out of Mississippi, and they beat them by a wide margin of points. This boys basketball team is averaging 61 points a game and allowing 41 points. Gio Ingracio, he is pretty much averaging a double-double, 10 points and 9 rebounds a game. You know, Blaine Davey averaging 10 points a game. Carson Thibodeau averaging 10 points a game. If this team can play like this, how they're playing now, once the playoffs come around and once district play comes around, then they have a really good shot at winning District 3-5A, and making a deep run at a state championship.
And the thing with lead scorers and everything, you know, you don't want everybody on the team to have the same mindset of, oh, let me score the most amount of points in the game, because then everybody loses their purpose on the court. And, you know, Coach Coleman, I feel like, does a great job at keeping everybody in line. And, you know, they keep themselves in line, too. They have great team chemistry. But you have to be careful.
Yes.
Especially.
You know, I totally agree with what you're saying, because, you know, at the end of the day, when you're playing as a team, your starters are going to average double-digit points.
Exactly.
If there's one player that's saying, oh, I need to have 30 tonight. Oh, I need to have 40 points tonight. And he's trying to make the game about himself, you're not going to be playing as a team. And there's a chance you're not going to win a game.
Exactly.
But, you know, like you said, it's good that Coach Coleman has installed this culture and this mindset into these players' minds. And now they're all the starters are averaging double-digit points. And a sophomore, Debonair Turner, leads the team in averaging assists per game with 5. So, you know, like you said, Cameron, Coach Coleman doing a great job with this basketball team. And, you know, it's really anyone's game here in District 3-5A.
So the Tours will play again on December 14th against St. Mary's, and then following home game after that will be next year.
Next year, 2025, after the Christmas break and the New Year's break and everything. So that's going to do it for Sulphur High School basketball. We're going to go to a different sport and talk about the college football playoff. So the college football playoff is right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. It's the first time that we see a 12-team bracket system. First round preview and predictions coming right up. December 20th, Indiana will travel to Notre Dame, and the winner of that game will play against Georgia in New Orleans on New Year's Day. Cameron, both teams, Indiana and Notre Dame, averaging 40 points a game. Both teams giving up and allowing around 14 points a game. Notre Dame's going to have to find a way, you know, to shut down Elijah Sarratt. A battle of two of the best defenses in all of college football here in the Indiana and Notre Dame game. Cameron, you know, overall, what are your overall thoughts?
When it comes down to a game like this, it's such a matter of execution, because it's coach versus coach, and then the players just have to execute the scheme, right?
I like how you say it's coach versus coach, and players executing the scheme, because overall, in most of these games that we're going to see in the college football playoff, there's going to be teams that are playing against opponents that they're just going to be able to easily out-athlete other teams.
Exactly.
Right? But in this game right here, the athletes, they're evenly matched. Indiana, Notre Dame. But then you take a look at if Georgia had to play against, you know, St. Methodist University. Georgia has much more talent than SMU. You know what I'm saying? But keep going, Indiana, Notre Dame.
And again, you know, every player, every coach who have made it to the college football playoffs is obviously talented, right? But, you know, they always say there's a difference between talent and hard work. That's true, but at the same time, you just have natural-born athletes that are just stupid, crazy athletes. And that's where it comes down to okay, how can coach scheme this offense up or scheme this defense up, right? Because that's why it's a coach versus coach game and not, who has, more talent like we would see in the regular season versus an unranked team.
Like I said, yeah. How is Notre Dame going to be able to shut down Elijah Sarrett? I mean,
Exactly.
Probably if he is the best playmaker for Indiana's football team. So if Notre Dame can find a way to shut him down, then they won't have a problem with winning this football game. My prediction, 31-28. Winner of this game will play against Georgia in New Orleans on New Year's Day. Next game, St. Methodist at Penn State. Winner of
This is a very controversial game, right? Because
a lot of people didn't want SMU, and they didn't think that they should be in the college football play. A lot of people, Alabama, Miami, teams like that.
But here's the thing, everybody complains about strength of schedule, stuff like that. The SEC has always been known as, the harder conference, right? But just because one team's schedule is harder than the others, I don't feel like you can punish SMU because, and especially if they
playing in a
bowl game,
conference championship game, for playing in a conference.
If they didn't want to play that game, they didn't have to, and they still would have been in the playoffs, right? But you can't punish this team for their great record and their great season just because Alabama had a harder schedule. You know what I mean?
Yep. No, I see exactly what you're saying. Also, Alabama lost to Oklahoma.
And lost to Vanderbilt.
St. Methodist at Penn State. Winner will play Boise State on December 31st. Penn State clearly has much more talent and a much better defense. But if SMU can protect their starting quarterback, Kevin Jennings, and if they win the turnover battle on defense, then SMU has a really good shot at beating Penn State if they can protect Kevin Jennings. My prediction, 34-21, Penn State comes out on top.
I feel like if SMU loses this game, they're going to face backlash. College football is going to face backlash. Everybody's going to face backlash.
Yeah, the social media is going to go crazy.
Especially if we
they didn't deserve. Alabama could have beat.
Especially if we see. What was that game a couple of years? Georgia played
Florida State.
Yeah,
Florida State. And Florida State. That was last year, and Florida State didn't make the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I know exactly. I know exactly. And they didn't make the playoff because Jordan Travis was hurt.
Yeah.
13-0. A Power 5 conference championship team didn't make the playoffs. So with this new system this year, Florida State last year would have easily made the playoffs. But that's the world we live in these days. Clemson will travel to play against Texas. Number 12, Clemson. Number 5, Texas. Clemson, they're 1-5 in their last 6 matchups with SEC opponents. Now, that could change in this game, and it can also change the next 2 years because in the next 2 years, LSU will be playing against Clemson on opening day of college football in the next 2 years. Both games, I think they're going to be at neutral sites, so not at Clemson nor LSU, so not really a home field advantage for either team. But like I said, the 1-5 record against SEC opponents could change in this game and the next 2 years. Texas, when they run the football, their ground game should be able to power their offense, and they should have a ton of success against Clemson's run defense. And like I said in this Penn State-Boise State game, and like I said earlier on the show, I think the Texas Longhorns have more athletes and more talent all over the field than Clemson does. So overall, I think the Longhorns will simply out-athlete the Clemson Tigers, and that's really what it's going to come down to.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you right there. I don't feel like Texas is going to lose, honestly. I just don't see Clemson beating Texas in any realm, really, honestly.
Right. But my prediction, 31-23, Texas will come out on top. Next game, Tennessee, the Volunteers will be taking on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Both two big-name kind of teams. Tennessee defensive line is going to be, I think, is just going to personally be too much for Ohio State's offensive line. Dominic Bailey, Bryson Eason, and those kind of guys, they should be able to get to Will Howard early in the game and accumulate blows on the quarterback to say, okay, I want to get the ball out quick. Okay, I don't want to scramble around because these big guys are going to come hit me. So I think Will Howard's going to try to start forcing stuff. And I think Tennessee is going to win the turnover battle, be able to force turnovers, get interceptions, get fumbles, and I really think Tennessee's going to be able to come out on top, especially because Tennessee's run game is going to be too much for Ohio State's run defense.
Yeah, and here's the thing. You go one game at a time, but in the end, you have to look at the big result, right? If your quarterback gets sacked 4 times in the first round of the playoffs, what's the risk of injury for the next game, right? Let's just say you win that game. What's the risk of injury for the next game and the following game, right? Especially once, because the first round, you won't really play. You're playing at equal level almost, not really, but kind of. But once you get deeper into the playoffs, you start
you're playing
these
teams like Georgia, and you go play Oregon.
Exactly,
teams like that.
These bigger guys, you're at much more risk versus just being able to protect them in the first round. So I feel like that's going to be a problem this year with some teams.
Yeah,
trying to protect the quarterback all the way throughout the playoffs, and luckily they get a week off, a week or two off in between games.
10 days, 7 to 10 days.
Yeah.
But Tennessee ranked number 9, Ohio State ranked number 8. I have Ohio State on upset alert. 35-18, Tennessee, the Volunteers will come out on top. That's going to do it for the first round of the college football playoff preview and predictions. We're going to go and talk a little bit of baseball here in December. Juan Soto has signed the largest contract in MLB history. Stay tuned for that.
$765
million. $765 million.
The largest contract in sports history.
Yep. Juan Soto, 26-year-old. Juan Soto has signed a 15-year, $765 million contract with my baseball team, the New York Mets. I've been a Mets fan. He signed this contract a couple days ago on December 9th, 2024.
Yeah.
This is huge. Like you just said, the biggest contract in sports history. And there's a possibility for this deal to get up to $805 million.
That's almost $1 billion. That is almost $1 billion. Dude, you have a 26-year-old making 51 point something million dollars a year.
Yep.
He's making $34,000 an inning. An inning. If they go 3 and out, he's still making $34,000.
3 up, 3 down. Thanks for my $34,000.
If he plays terrible for the next 15 years, he's still guaranteed $765 million. Dude.
My thing, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for a 26-year-old, for a kid from Santo Domingo. In the offseason, the Mets are going to be certain to add pitchers, especially after losing Severino to the Athletics. Here's my thing. This goes out to all the Yankees fans out there. Yankees fans, y'all are mad at Juan Soto for signing this 15-year, $765 million contract with the real New York team, the New York Mets. Okay?
The Yankees offered him $760 for 16 years,
offered him $760 million for 16 years. $5 million less. Y'all are saying Juan Soto's doing it for the money. If Juan Soto wanted to be a New York Yankee, then he would have signed with the New York Yankees. Juan Soto does not want to be a New York Yankee. He wants to play for the New York Mets. He's not doing it for the money. That goes out to all the New York Yankee fans out there that are burning his jerseys, that are on social media clowning him, that are doing all this and that, complaining about Juan Soto not playing for the New York Yankees.
You know what's funny?
That's all I had to say.
You know what's funny? Everybody clowning this dude on social media isn't making $34,000 in 10 minutes.
No, they're not. But Juan Soto is a top 2 hitter in baseball, okay? Behind Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani is, I'm going to say it, Shohei Ohtani is the greatest baseball player to ever play the game.
To ever walk on grass.
Juan Soto has the highest on-base percentage of any active major leaguer. He had a batting average of 327 last postseason, hitting 14 home runs. He's fourth in the league in home runs with 41 last season, and he's sixth in the league in RBIs with 109. This adds to the extremely dominant lineup, the offensive lineup with Francisco Lindor, Mark Vientos, Brandon Nimmo, Sterling Marte, players like that. And there's also a chance for the Mets to still sign their first baseman back, Pete Alonso. I want to close with this. I want to close the show like this, Cameron. Dave Martinez said this about Juan Soto. I'm going to read this. Dave Martinez was the Washington Nationals manager. He said this a couple days ago. I don't know what he's going to do when he's 40, but I know what he's going to do come opening day. I'm going to say this, Cameron. Juan Soto is Juan Soto. Top 2 hitter in baseball. If not, arguably, he is the best.
And I mean, the only thing I would really argue with is maybe the length of the contract. 15 years is kind of a while.
Yeah. And he's 4 years from 30. He's 26 years old.
Exactly. But in the end, I mean, dude's still making $765 million.
In the end, it's Juan Soto.
Yeah.
It's Juan Soto. So that's going to do it here on CPSB-TV Sports. Great, awesome, fun show today. Cameron, it's always a blast. We'll see you guys next year in the year of 2025 for the next CPSB-TV Sports show. But stay tuned here on CPSB-TV for all the news broadcasts and latest updates around Calcasieu Parish. Thanks so much for watching, guys.